Hi once again guys, back with another video. I hope you enjoyed the last one. It's been a while. Um, Feedback on how the southern hemisphere destroyed the northern hemisphere. I totally got my predictions wrong on most of the games. Italy Argentina I said would win. I said Argentina would beat Italy. It was quite comfortable. I said um, South Africa would beat Scotland once the changes are made because Scotland's depth. I thought that the All Blacks and the Aussies was my surprise um, because of Australia's horrible defense, but I didn't anticipate England collapsing like that. Late into the second or late into the overtime, Australia scored a beautiful try in the corner to give them the victory over England. It was heartbreaking for English supporters, but and now they have to face South Africa this weekend still. So that was a massive game. That was I think it was 43-38 in favor of Australia. And then you had the All Blacks that beat Ireland. That was just such a big surprise to me as well. I thought Ireland would have taken the victory from the All Blacks. All Blacks beat them 23-13 on Friday night. And then Fiji also surprised Wales by defeating them. So the Southern Hemisphere teams just decided to pitch. Italy got a big hiding as well from Argentina, which is not as shocking because I think Argentina has proven that they are on a great path after the victories that they've had. South Africa's game went exactly as I expected, but of controversy around the red card. I think if it wasn't a 20-minute red card law, then that would have never been a red card. Yellow card at most. I understand the dangers of the croc roll for knees and ankles, but I do think that yellow would have been suffice. Then obviously the 7-1 split has been brought into question again, even though most of the teams are starting to use a 6-2 split now. It's just one player difference. It's just people don't understand South Africa utilizes team game better. We do have individual brilliance, but we emphasize on team. At the end of the day, rugby is a team sport, and the bench is just as important as the 15 minutes starts the game. We just have that amount of depth. I spoke about it in the previous video. South Africa has an extremely massive amount of depth in terms of players, and they can bring into different positions. People think physicality also means that you are the biggest. If you look at the South African players compared to the Scottish players, pound for pound, we were not the heaviest. Like Kwagga was the smallest of the three loose forwards on South African side, not just on the South African side, but he was even smaller than the Irish guys in terms of size and length, weight and length. And then you would look at our three backline players is 89, 90, 91, the outbacks, and then you would look at Ireland's guys. The lightest one was like 104 kilos. So pound for pound, they were just stronger and bigger. They were bigger, but they were not stronger. In South Africa, our game is based on physicality. Nonetheless, it went exactly as I said it would. We even scored a try off a scrum at the end by dominating them and bulldozing them over the try line. But at the end of the day, our quality and depth is just too much for them, and the game just started going away from Scotland. The difference between the Southern Hemisphere teams and the Northern Hemisphere teams is also when we get a penalty and we feel like we are on top of them, We go for the corner, they go for the penalty. They take a kick at post. So they never really get the moment. Like Scotland had this part where they were dominating South Africa, and then they got a penalty, and we already got a couple of warnings from the ref. And then instead of piling on the pressure, kicking at the corner, they kicked to the poles. They just relieved all that pressure from the Springboks. So yeah, that is my feedback on what I think transpired this weekend. But to what's going to happen this weekend, again on a Friday night, it's Ireland versus Argentina. So that's going to be another thrilling match. It will be nice to see if Argentina can pull an upset out of this one. I do think Ireland are still favourites, and they're going to be wanting to lick their wounds and come back from what happened against the All Blacks. But I do think would like to see Argentina upsetting Ireland, because then Argentina has essentially beaten the All Blacks, they've beaten South Africa, and then they would have beaten Ireland, and they've beaten France, and they would have beaten everyone in the top 4 this year. So that would be great for them. Scotland has a freebie, so they're playing Portugal this weekend. So that is just like, I would say that's put on a couple of points, 40-50 points on the board. Just get the guys' confidence back and get them ready. Also, opportunity to give new guys a chance. England versus South Africa. Is it the time that England pitches, or is England going to want to rectify the mistakes that they made against the All Blacks and against in their first game when they lost narrowly to who did they play? The All Blacks, and then last week they lost to Australia. Is England going to rectify the mistakes they made in those games, or is it going to be the repeat? I think that South Africa would like to rectify the mistakes that they made against Scotland, as the Scotland didn't punish them for it. I think that they would want to put on a more dominant performance. So we'll see. It's hit and miss regarding that one, I'm not sure. And then Le Bleu, France versus the All Blacks, another old-time rival. And I think it will be France's first proper test for the year. France played. Who did they play last week? They played a minnow team last week. I know it wasn't one of the top teams, and they ended up beating them quite comfortably with a B-string team and DuPont and Riot. France also ended up losing once to Argentina when they went there. Granted, it wasn't the best team that they sent, but nonetheless, it would be nice to see if the All Blacks can come up tops there. And then on Sunday, we close with Wales versus Australia. Wales got 2 items from South Africa and from Australia this year already. That was in Australia, and now this year and then Australia beat England. So it will be nice to see if Australia can keep that momentum going forward, and then obviously just to see if they've learned from the mistakes, because Australia is amazing going forward, but defensively they are still leaking points. Like you can see, 43 to 38. That's a massive amount of points that they stood down. So if you like the content, stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe, and wait for the next one.